How's it going, everybody? My name is John Reyes, and I'd like to welcome you to HTTV's new show, The Real Review. We're going to review the hottest blockbusters this summer, as well as some more obscure films releasing in theaters. There's definitely a lot to look forward to, so let's jump right into our first review with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Just a quick heads up, this review will not contain any spoilers. Now, let's talk about this movie. Written and directed by James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was released in theaters May 5th and acts as a final chapter to this trilogy. I've always held the Guardians film to a very high standard. Going into this third movie, I was pretty anxious to see it. We've all heard complaints about superhero movies being nothing more than quick cash grabs now. Marvel has just been pumping out so much stuff of mixed quality, it was scary to think that Volume 3 would follow under this umbrella. James Gunn had really impressed me with his first two volumes of the Guardians, as well as his version of the Suicide Squad. After seeing how they treated the third installment of the Ant-Man films, I grew even more worried that I was setting myself up for disappointment. But James Gunn did it. He created one of the best comic book movies I have ever seen. A beautiful farewell to some of my favorite characters. This film feels so disjointed from previous Marvel films, but in the best way possible. Every single aspect of this movie blends in together so well to create such a strong story that will stir your emotions throughout the whole film. Let's dive a little bit into the story. Peter Quill continues to struggle to cope with the loss of Gamora. However, once Rocket Raccoon's life is put in danger, it's up to the Guardians to find his creator and save his life. While we're talking about some of the characters, the villain is actually the one who steals the show. Believe me, Bradley Cooper and Chris Pratt do an amazing job, but Chukwudi Iwuji is absolutely iconic in this film. He plays the villain, the High Evolutionary, and he's an absolute ruthless tyrant without remorse. He's a man trying to play God and isn't willing to back down until his goals are achieved. Although more of a sub-antagonist, I really loved Adam Warlock, and Will Poulter did a great job in the role. Now, going back to our heroes, I absolutely love the dynamic that Drax, Nebula, and Mantis had through the entire film. Everything flowed naturally. They feel like this arguing family, and that's really what these movies are about. Also, you can't have Guardians of the Galaxy without Groot. Outside of his design, which I personally think is the best out of all three movies, he has this great balance between causing chaos and protecting his friends. Now, outside of this family, you have this new version of Gamora. She's meaner, more vicious, and she has no idea who Peter is, and he has a really hard time accepting that. But this isn't Peter's story, it's Rocket's. A good majority of this film talks about Rocket's past and the stuff he was never willing to open up about. It's gruesome, but at the same time, it's really heart-wrenching. There's this one scene in particular where Rocket is just this emotional wreck, and you really feel for him. This film succeeds so well on the emotional beats, since we can all relate to these characters in one way or another and feel their struggles. I think the accompanying music helps flesh out these moments even better. Music is one of the core aspects of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. The soundtrack fits these films so perfectly that we end up listening to them on the way home from the movie theater. In Volume 3, you have songs from Radiohead, Flaming Lips, Beastie Boys, and a fantastic ending song from Florence and the Machine. These songs are just implemented so well, and they really help reel in the audience. There's actually an official playlist on Spotify if you want to go check it out for yourself. Each song feels so appropriate to the scene, nothing ever really feels out of place with them. However, something I felt to be very jarring was the way this film was edited. There were several scenes that just got cut off abruptly or threw in a weird reaction shot that didn't really fit. Other than a few nitpicks, I think this film did an excellent job in the visual effects department. The planets, atmospheres, and even space looked just so visually stunning and colorful. There's a literal planet made of flesh, and it was really gross, but I loved the creativity. In regards to costumes, I absolutely love the new Guardians uniforms, which are comic book accurate. But a highlight would have to be the spacesuits. They're such simple designs, yet so colorful that it stands out within the vacuum of space. When you think of a Guardians movie, you think of this fun adventure filled with goofy antics and epic battles. But for this movie, yeah, that's still the case. It's just not all it has to offer. The first two volumes, we've seen Peter deal with grief, his mother dying, as well as him developing a relationship with his father. James Gunn has a strong grasp of what makes a story not just compelling, but relatable. While it's true that the story shifts over from Peter to Rocket, it doesn't forget to continue to build upon Peter's story. Now, would I recommend this movie? Absolutely. While Volume 3 is an action-packed adventure, this is a film about confronting the past and moving on surrounded by the people you love. If you have a chance to see it in theaters, please definitely do so. And if you can't, make sure to catch its debut on Disney Plus in early August. I definitely give this film 4.5 stars. Thank you for watching. This has been The Real Review. My name is John Reyes, and I'll catch you later.